Here we have a clip of Tucker Carlson talking about how the Biden administration is supposedly um, making memes illegal because this dude by the name of Douglas Mackey went to jail over spreading um, false information of the election through memes, claiming that voters can vote by phone when that wasn't possible. Let's take a listen to his clip.
So almost no one was paying attention to the early actions in the Biden administration. Biden gets inaugurated, and the media spend the next year talking about how great Biden is. So very few people noticed that just a week after the presidential inauguration in January of 2021, Biden's FBI arrested a 31-year-old man from Vermont called Douglas Mackey. Now, according to the DOJ, in the charging documents, Mackey's crime was making fun of Hillary Clinton on the internet. 4 years before he was arrested, Mackey made an internet meme joking that it was possible to vote for Hillary Clinton by text message. Not a single person in America.
Yeah, and that is considered election interference. Let's go check out lawandcrime.com talking about Douglas Mackey. He's a far-right Twitter troll known by the handle Ricky Vaughn. Failed to persuade the federal judge that his alleged attempt to interfere in the 2020 presidential election was First Amendment protected speech. He took his identity from Charlie Sheen's character in the movie Major League. Mackey was unmasked in a Huffington Post article and investigation. The then influencer had been known to frequently boost pro-Donald Trump content, publishing anti-Semitic and white nationalist memes and propaganda. And nearly 1 year ago from this article, federal prosecutors alleged that Mackey crossed the line into illegality when he spread memes apparently telling Hillary Clinton supporters to avoid the line, vote from home. The meme encouraged supporters to text Hillary to 59925, and prosecutors said that this line showed his tweet had wide reach. So, he's not, he isn't in jail for just making a meme. He's in jail for trying to interfere in the 2020 election, which is pretty funny because with all the screams of election interference, most of it, pretty much all of it, has been done by right-wingers. Election fraud, people trying to vote twice, people murdering their spouse to vote for them and their name, and more. So it's like the people who scream election fraud are committing election fraud.
America, and DOJ has not shown differently, believed that Mackey was serious or that you could vote for Hillary by text message. He wasn't subverting democracy. He was calling Hillary voters stupid. And the DOJ...
well, he may want to make that claim, but that's not what the Justice Department sees it as, so, well, don't try to interfere in an election next time.
DOJ knows that. Every person knows that. Jokes are not crimes. But the Biden administration is trying to send Douglas Mackey to prison for years. We've been trying for a year to speak to one of his lawyers because this is one of the great outrages of this story. James Lawrence is one of Douglas Mackey's lawyers, and we're happy to have him on tonight.
You know, what is funny is if left-wingers did the same thing, people like Tucker Carlson would be screaming election interference until the cows came home. Because that's what it is, election interference, and the dude went to jail, and it's fault.
Mr. Lawrence, thank you so much for coming on. This is such an obvious violation of the First Amendment. This is so clearly totalitarian. How did it get to this point in the court system?
Well, first of all, thanks, Tucker, for having me on to discuss this important case. And as we've argued in court filings, we believe that this prosecution represents a significant escalation of the government's regulation of speech under the banner of policing so-called disinformation. And Tucker, really, you were one of the first public figures and one of the most prominent people to criticize Twitter for deplatforming people over so-called disinformation. But I don't think even you would have thought that someone
No.
would face
No.
a federal prosecution or potential jail time over alleged memes. Now,
But they can face prosecution for, let's say it again, election interference. The thing that these people claim to be against. It is so funny. They're showing the hypocrisy that is the right wing. They're against election interference when it's for the other side. But hey, if they do election interference, it's totally okay. It's just a joke. Nothing more, nothing less. Those people were just tourists going on a tour. They were peaceful.
here's what's at issue. The government says that this case is about voting rights, but as we've argued, the government has not alleged that a single person didn't vote as a result of the alleged memes. So we think that this case goes to the core of the First Amendment, and really, regardless of what you think about the content at issue, everyone in this country, Tucker, left, right, center, and every political persuasion in between should be concerned about what's happening in this case.
I'm not. The only reason he's faking concern is because, well, one, he's the lawyer, and two, they want to make this seem like it's something that it's not, that this guy is actually didn't do anything bad. But, well, as the right-wingers always like to say, obey the law and you won't go to jail.
And so the question is, what can you do? And there are two things I'd like to let your audience know about. First, Douglas Mackey's Legal Defense Fund can be supported by logging on to memedefensefund.com.
Nope.
Tucker, we're asking your audience to pray. Pray for Doug, pray for the defense team, pray for justice to be done. As for Doug,
Yeah, that's funny. Hey guys, say a bunch of magic words. Hopefully that will subvert our justice system and get this guy out of jail.
I can tell you, Tucker, he has great faith in God. He also has faith in our system of trial by jury, which our founders gave to us in the Bill of Rights. I can also tell you, for me, it's a privilege to be on his defense team.
Wow, a privilege to be on this dude's defense team? You must not be that good of a lawyer.
I just want to make one thing completely clear. You've said it, I've said it, but I just want to restate it. The Biden administration has not held up a single victim of this so-called crime, this joke. So if there's no victim, how is it a crime? I'm confused. But
It's still a crime because he was attempting to interfere with the election. Just because people didn't mess up their vote because of it doesn't mean it wasn't a crime. So,
you're the lawyer.
Well, the government's position is that merely the conspiracy and the intent to interfere with one's right to vote is enough under the statute at issue in this case. And of course, if the government's theory is allowed to prevail, the Pandora's box that could be opened with respect to the chilling effect on speech, it just can't be really overstated.
right. The chilling effect on free speech is that people won't be able to interfere with the election anymore, because that's the only thing that they're trying to defend is right-wingers being able to interfere with elections, because that is what they've been doing since Donald Trump lost, is interfere with the election over and over and over again. And they won't stop until they, are able to regain power and do their genocide.
Any speech, we contend, Tucker, that could potentially land someone facing a criminal investigation and looking at potential jail time. We can't open this Pandora's box. The defense team in this case is committed to slamming the door shut on this theory.
Hillary Clinton should stand up right now in defense of Douglas Mackey. This is being done in her name. You don't want to live in a country where politicians can throw you in jail for criticizing them. That's not.
That's funny. He's acting like Hillary Clinton is like personally throwing this dude in jail for criticizing her. No, it's not for being criticized. It is for election interference. But they don't want to actually say that he was interfering with the election. They want to make it seem like he was just telling jokes, making memes, criticizing. No, that's not what he was doing.
Not a free country. No one's covering this because, oh, Mackey's a bad guy. I don't care. I don't care if he's Stalin. No American citizen can be treated this way.
Well, that's funny. You don't care if he was Stalin? Yeah, you would care if he was like a quote unquote like communist dictator. You would be screaming about how evil he is because he's a communist and that's what you do all the time.
Period.
That's right.
Anyway, I really do appreciate your coming on. And by the way, he doesn't sound like a bad guy, but whatever.
I don't know. I think this was pretty hilarious, actually. Um, that this is just how Tucker is. He claims like everything is a joke and like it's all just for fun and games, which is like one way how he got out of a defamation lawsuit was just saying, "Oh, I'm just asking questions. I'm just a comedian. Nobody takes me seriously," and which is also what his lawyer said, that Tucker is so like wild and ridiculous that no sane person would take him seriously. So the people that do take him seriously, you gotta question how stable are these people? And you kinda know because they're all freaking Nazis.